BT2 home inspection. If the air conditioner's BTU is 12,000 in a 3,000 square foot home, that condition is a defect because of the inadequate sizing of the unit in relation to the house's size. Must be documented in the inspection report with BTU calculations. Need not be reported because the size and BTU are in alignment. The correct answer is a defect because of the inadequate sizing of the unit in relation to the house's size. A 12,000 BTU air conditioner is typically suited for spaces up to about 500 to 600 square feet depending on factors like ceiling height, insulation, and climate. For a 3,000 square foot home, the unit is significantly undersized and would not efficiently cool the space, which constitutes a defect that should be addressed. Next question. If a home inspector inspects a receptacle and it has reversed polarity, the inspector should report it as a material defect, report it as in need of correction, or report it as in need of improvement. The correct answer is report it as in need of correction. Reversed polarity in a receptacle means that the hot and neutral wires are switched, which can pose a safety hazard, especially for devices requiring proper polarity to function safely. This condition typically requires correction by a qualified electrician, so the inspector should document it as needing correction. Next question. The home inspector required to enter all crawl spaces according to the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice is not. The correct answer is not. According to the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice, a home inspector is not required to enter all crawl spaces if doing so would be unsafe, inaccessible, or likely to cause damage to the property. Inspectors are only obligated to inspect readily accessible areas. If a crawl space is blocked, too tight to enter, or has hazardous conditions, the inspector can note the limitation in their report. Next question. The inspection of pools and spas falls the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice. Outside, within. The correct answer is outside. The inspection of pools and spas falls outside the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice. While some inspectors may choose to offer pool and spa inspections as an additional service, they are not required to do so under the Standard Home Inspection Guidelines. If offered, this would typically be outlined in a separate agreement or added as an ancillary service. Next question. Mechanical drain stoppers may be inspected because it's required by the Standards of Practice, but it's not required by the Standards of Practice. The correct answer is, but it's not required by the Standards of Practice. Mechanical drain stoppers may be inspected at the discretion of the home inspector, but they are not required by the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice. Inspectors are encouraged to exceed standards if they feel it provides additional value, but such inspections are optional. Next question. A home inspector to operate the main plumbing shutoff valve is not required, is required. The correct answer is not required. According to the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice, a home inspector is not required to operate the main plumbing shutoff valve. Operating the valve could risk causing damage, such as leaks or failure, so inspectors typically only note its location and condition without manipulating it. Next question. According to the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice, home inspectors required to evaluate parts of a house that they deem unsafe to access are or are not. The correct answer is are not. According to the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice, home inspectors are not required to evaluate parts of a house that they deem unsafe to access. This includes areas that could pose a risk to the inspector's safety, such as unstable structures, hazardous materials, or spaces with restricted access. Inspectors should document these limitations in their report. Next question. If a breaker is found in the off position, the home inspector should identify it as a material defect, leave it as is, and report upon that breaker's position. Put tape on top of it so that it's not used. Switch it back on, and then back off. Turn it back on. The correct answer is leave it as is and report upon that breaker's position. A home inspector should never turn a breaker back on. A breaker in the off position could indicate a safety concern, an intentionally disconnected circuit, or an underlying issue. The inspector's role is to observe, document, and report the condition, not to manipulate electrical systems, as doing so could pose risks to safety or damage equipment. Next question. Inspecting the as included in a standard home inspection: dock, railing at a staircase, safety glass, seawall, window screen. The correct answer is railing at a staircase. Inspecting the railing at a staircase is included in a standard home inspection under the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice. Inspectors are required to evaluate the safety and condition of staircases and their components, including railings, to identify potential hazards. The other items listed, such as docks, seawalls, safety glass, and window screens, are generally not required to be inspected as part of a standard home inspection, unless specified as ancillary services. Next question. When inspecting guttering, need not be reported on: fasteners that are missing or pulling away from the fascia, gutters that slope up from the downspouts, missing downspouts, the presence of leaf guards. The correct answer is the presence of leaf guards. When inspecting guttering, the presence of leaf guards need not be reported on, as it is not typically a defect or issue requiring correction. However, the other items, missing or pulling fasteners, improperly sloped gutters, and missing downspouts, are conditions that could impact the functionality of the gutter system and should be reported. Next question. Is not normally used for flashing. Aluminum, copper, steel, timber. The correct answer is timber. Timber is not normally used for flashing. Flashing is typically made from materials like aluminum, copper, or steel, which are durable, weather-resistant, and effective at directing water away from vulnerable areas such as roof joints or around windows. Timber would not provide the necessary water resistance and durability needed for flashing. Next question. In roof framing, the base of the right triangle is called the pitch, rise, run, slope, span. The correct answer is run. In roof framing, the base of the right triangle is called the run. The run refers to the horizontal distance from the ridge to the outside wall or the distance the roof extends horizontally. The rise is the vertical distance from the base to the ridge, while pitch refers to the ratio of the rise to the run. Slope refers to the angle of the roof, and span is the total width of the roof from one side to the other. Next question. Is the incline of the roof expressed as a ratio of the vertical rise to the horizontal run, where the run is some portion of the span? Pitch, run, slope, span. The correct answer is pitch. Pitch is the incline of the roof expressed as a ratio of the vertical rise to the horizontal run. It is a measure of how steep the roof is, with the run being a portion of the span. Next question. The following statement applies to this chimney. A rain cap is required. The cap is cracked. The flue is cracked. The step flashings have failed. There are no visible problems. There has probably been a chimney fire. The correct answer is a rain cap is required. This statement indicates that a rain cap is needed on the chimney. Rain caps are important for preventing water damage, debris buildup, and animals from entering the flue. The other statements suggest potential issues with the chimney, such as cracks, failed flashings, or signs of a chimney fire, but do not specifically relate to the need for a rain cap. Next question. Where a roof ridge is closer than 10 feet to a chimney, the stack should be higher. 10 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 6 feet. The correct answer is 2 feet. According to most building codes and standards, if a chimney stack is within 10 feet of a roof ridge, the top of the chimney should be at least 2 feet higher than the ridge. This ensures proper ventilation and prevents issues like downdrafts. Next question. TF. The inspector could visually check whether true, false. The correct answer is true. The inspector can visually check whether downspouts are blocked by looking for signs of water overflow, debris buildup, or any other visible obstructions. However, a more thorough inspection may require testing the downspouts with water flow to confirm they are clear. Visual checks are typically part of a standard home inspection. Next question. Should not used for guttering. Aluminum, brass, copper, steel. The correct answer is brass. Brass should not typically be used for guttering. While it is a durable material, it is not commonly used for gutters because it is more expensive and can corrode over time. Aluminum, copper, and steel are the more common materials used for guttering due to their durability, corrosion resistance, and cost effectiveness. Next question. The minimum height of a traditional masonry chimney is 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. The correct answer is 3 feet. The minimum height of a traditional masonry chimney is typically 3 feet above the roofline. Additionally, the top of the chimney must be at least 2 feet higher than any part of the building within a 10-foot radius to ensure proper draft and ventilation. Next question. The grounded and grounding conductors can share a common bus, usually only in the distribution panel, the service panel, any electrical panel. The correct answer is the service panel. The grounded and grounding conductors can share a common bus only in the service panel. In other electrical panels, such as subpanels, the neutral and ground must be isolated and not share a common bus to prevent potential safety hazards. This practice helps ensure that the grounding system functions correctly and reduces the risk of electrical shock or fire. Next question. Several grounded conductors generally terminate on the same lug. Can or cannot? The correct answer is cannot. Several grounded conductors generally cannot terminate on the same lug. Grounded conductors should typically be terminated on separate lugs or bars to ensure proper connections and to avoid overloading the lug. In electrical panels, each conductor needs a secure individual connection to prevent potential safety hazards such as overheating or arcing. Next question. The minimum copper wiring size carrying 120 volts generally should be 10 AWG, 12 AWG, 14 AWG, 16 AWG, 18 AWG. The correct answer is 14 AWG. The minimum copper wiring size for carrying 120 volts in most residential applications is generally 14 Aruban florins. This is suitable for a 15 amp circuit. For a 20 amp circuit, a 12 AWG copper wire would typically be used. Always ensure that wire sizes meet the requirements based on the load and circuit specifications for safety. Next question. The typical minimum size for a rod-type grounding electrode rod is 1/2 inch in diameter and 6 feet long, 1/8 inch in diameter and 12 feet long, 5/8 inch in diameter and 6 feet long, 5/8 inch in diameter and 8 feet long. The correct answer is 5/8 inch in diameter and 6 feet long. The typical minimum size for a rod-type grounding electrode is 5/8 inch in diameter and 6 feet long. This meets the requirements set by the National Electrical Code for grounding systems in most residential installations. Next question. The electrical supply should be able to be shut down using no more than moves of the hand. 2, 4, 6, 8. The correct answer is 2. The electrical supply should be able to be shut down using no more than 2 moves of the hand. This is to ensure that the main disconnect switch is easily accessible and can be operated quickly in case of an emergency. This requirement is typically part of safety standards to prevent delays in turning off the power if needed. Next question. An electrical panel that uses a double pole breaker to isolate multiple main disconnects from the 120-volt circuits is called a panel. Federal Pacific, part load, partial bus, split bus. The correct answer is split bus. An electrical panel that uses a double pole breaker to isolate multiple main disconnects from the 120-volt circuits is called a split bus panel. These panels are older designs and typically have separate breakers for 240-volt circuits and a main disconnect for 120-volt circuits, but they do not have a single main breaker for all circuits. Next question. In an electrical system, when you increase the current increases. Amps, current, voltage. The correct answer is voltage. In an electrical system, when you increase the voltage, the current increases assuming the resistance stays the same. This relationship is defined by Ohm's law, which states that I equal to VR. Therefore, increasing the voltage results in an increase in current provided the resistance is constant. Next question. An electrical panel cover is more properly called the dead front panel cover. Distribution center. Enclosure. The correct answer is dead front panel cover. An electrical panel cover is more properly called the dead front panel cover. This cover provides safety by shielding the live electrical components inside the panel and preventing accidental contact with energized parts. It typically has openings for circuit breakers and other controls but does not expose any of the wiring or internal connections. Next question. If installed against insulation, recessed ceiling lights should be rated CC, EC, GC, IC. The correct answer is IC. If installed against insulation, recessed ceiling lights should be rated IC. IC-rated lights are designed to be safely installed in direct contact with insulation without overheating, which is important for fire safety and proper ventilation. Next question. Required on electric water heaters is a shutoff switch or disconnect. All, no, some. The correct answer is all. A shutoff switch or disconnect is required on all electric water heaters. This allows the water heater to be safely turned off for maintenance or in case of an emergency, providing an additional layer of safety by preventing electrical hazards. Next question. A clothes washer standpipe should have a height above the trap of 18 inches, maximum or minimum. The correct answer is minimum. A clothes washer standpipe should have a minimum height of 18 inches above the trap. This height helps prevent backflow and ensures proper drainage. The maximum height can vary based on local codes, but the 18-inch minimum is generally required. Next question. TF. The design of a drainage system is based on uniform flow in the drainage piping. True or false? The correct answer is true. The design of a drainage system is based on uniform flow in the drainage piping. This ensures that wastewater flows efficiently through the system, preventing blockages and promoting proper drainage. Uniform flow is crucial for the system to handle expected loads and maintain optimal function. Next question. A short length of pipe attached directly to a fixture by means of a flange for connection to other piping or traps is called a barrel, standpipe, tailpiece, trap arm. The correct answer is tailpiece. A tailpiece is a short length of pipe attached directly to a fixture by means of a flange, and it connects the fixture to other piping or traps. It typically extends from a sink, lavatory, or other plumbing fixtures to the drain line or trap. Next question. A relief valve pipe terminating into a water leak catch pan is not permitted because the pan is not an indirect waste receptor, designed for hot temperatures, intended to catch leaking water from a fixture, shallow enough. The correct answer is an indirect waste receptor. A relief valve pipe terminating into a water leak catch pan is not permitted because the pan is not an indirect waste receptor. An indirect waste receptor is a fixture or device specifically designed to receive wastewater in a way that prevents backflow into the potable water supply, and it must be properly vented. Catch pans are not designed for this purpose. Next question. A is required for most changes in direction of the sewer drainage pipe. Clean out, P-trap, S-trap, U-trap. The correct answer is clean out. A cleanout is required for most changes in direction of the sewer drainage pipe. Cleanouts provide access to the drainage system for maintenance, such as clearing blockages or inspecting the pipe. They are typically installed at points where the pipe direction changes or at intervals along long runs of piping. Next question. How much space should be in front of a lavatory in relation to a wall, fixture, or door? 12 inches, 21 inches, 33 inches, 42 inches. The correct answer is 21 inches. There should be at least 21 inches of space in front of a lavatory in relation to a wall, fixture, or door. This ensures adequate space for use and accessibility, as recommended by plumbing and building codes for comfort and safety. Next question. Glass doors enclosing the shower made of safety glazing is not required to be, must be, need not be. The correct answer is must be. Glass doors enclosing the shower must be made of safety glazing. This is required to prevent injury in case the glass is broken. Safety glazing materials such as tempered glass or laminated glass are designed to break into small, less hazardous pieces. Next question. A is a bathroom or washroom sink. Commode, lavatory, restroom, washroom. The correct answer is lavatory. A lavatory is a bathroom or washroom sink. It is commonly used to refer to sinks in bathrooms where hand washing or other personal hygiene activities take place. Next question. TF. Most of a home structure is hidden behind walls or buried underground. True, false. The correct answer is true. Most of a home structure such as framing, wiring, plumbing, and sometimes parts of the foundation is hidden behind walls or buried underground. These components are essential to the building's integrity and functionality, but are not always visible during a home inspection unless access panels or other openings are present. Next question. TF. Platform framing is an older method of wood framing that utilizes long, continuous framing members that run from the sill to the eaves, with intermediate floor platforms nailed to them. True or false? The correct answer is false. Platform framing is not an older method of wood framing, it is actually a modern and commonly used construction technique. In platform framing, each floor is built as a separate platform and the walls are framed on top of each platform. The framing members run from the sill to the top plate, with each floor constructed independently. The description provided refers more closely to balloon framing, an older method. Next question. Driveways should slope garage doors. Away from. Toward. The correct answer is away from. Driveways should slope away from garage doors. This ensures proper drainage, preventing water from flowing toward the garage and potentially causing water damage or flooding inside the garage. A slope away from the door helps direct water away from the foundation and into proper drainage channels. Next question. TF. Truss uplift is a major structural defect. True or false? The correct answer is false. Truss uplift is not typically considered a major structural defect. It is a common phenomenon in homes with truss roof systems, where the trusses move upward due to changes in temperature and humidity. This can cause gaps or separation at the ceiling, but it generally does not compromise the structural integrity of the building. However, it can be a cosmetic issue and may require attention if it causes problems with finishes or functionality. Next question. A is a wooden, steel, or engineered member that supports floor framing members. Beam, pillar, post. The correct answer is beam. A beam is a wooden, steel, or engineered member that supports floor framing members. Beams are horizontal supports that carry loads from the floor above and transfer them to vertical supports, such as posts or walls. Next question. Is one of the most common types of foundations. Slab on grade, slab on slab, slope grade. The correct answer is slab on grade. Slab on grade is one of the most common types of foundations. It consists of a single layer of concrete that is poured directly on the ground, typically with reinforcement, and is used for many residential homes, especially in areas where the ground does not experience extreme freezing. This type of foundation is simpler and less expensive than other types like crawl spaces or basements. Next question. Pressure refers to the pressures caused by water pushing against slabs and foundations, particularly underground concrete block or poured concrete walls of foundation and crawl spaces. Hydrostatic, load-bearing, outside, pier. The correct answer is hydrostatic. Hydrostatic pressure refers to the pressures caused by water pushing against slabs and foundations, particularly underground concrete block or poured concrete walls of foundations and crawl spaces. This pressure is a result of water accumulation around the foundation, such as from rainfall or groundwater, and can lead to moisture infiltration or damage if not properly managed with drainage systems. Next question. TF. Home inspectors may report on overflowing clogged gutters, but it's not required according to the home inspection standards of practice. True or false? The correct answer is true. Home inspectors may report on overflowing clogged gutters, but it is not required according to the home inspection standards of practice. Inspectors are generally encouraged to note issues like clogged or overflowing gutters if they are visible and could affect the home's condition, but addressing them is not part of the standard inspection requirements. Next question. TF. Notches in the middle third of a floor joist is permitted. True or false? The correct answer is false. Notches in the middle third of a floor joist are not permitted. According to building codes, notching is generally allowed in the outer thirds of the joist, but not in the middle third where the maximum bending stress occurs. Notching in the middle could weaken the joist and compromise the structural integrity of the floor. Next question. One-person inspection businesses are almost never affected by workplace injuries, are protected by the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, needn't worry about PPE, should be especially diligent with regard to safety because no one is looking out for the inspector but himself/herself. The correct answer is should be especially diligent with regard to safety because no one is looking out for the inspector but himself/herself. One-person inspection businesses should be especially diligent with regard to safety because the inspector is the sole person responsible for their well-being. Without CO workers or supervisors, it is crucial for the inspector to take precautions, wear appropriate PPE, and follow safety protocols to prevent injuries. Next question. A confined space that has the potential to contain a hazardous atmosphere may be classified as a cellar. Permit-required confined space, pit, vault. The correct answer is permit-required confined space. A confined space that has the potential to contain a hazardous atmosphere is classified as a permit-required confined space. These spaces pose a risk to workers, so special precautions, including obtaining a permit before entry, are required to ensure safety. Examples include certain tanks, vaults, or pits where toxic gases or insufficient oxygen could be present. Next question. This type IA stepladder inspectors commonly use can support a maximum of pounds 100, 300, 400, 600. The correct answer is 300. A Type IA stepladder can support a maximum of 300 pounds. Type IA ladders are heavy-duty and are commonly used by inspectors for tasks that require a higher weight capacity, offering a good balance of strength and stability. Next question. Which statement describes the correct rule for safe ladder placement? The base of a ladder should be placed so that it is 1 foot away from the building for every 4 feet of height to where the ladder rests against the building. The base of the ladder should be placed so that it is 1 foot away from the building for every 10 feet of height to where the ladder rests against the building. The base of the ladder should be placed so that it is 1 foot away from the building for every 6 feet of height to where the ladder rests against the building. The correct answer is, the base of a ladder should be placed so that it is 1 foot away from the building for every 4 feet of height to where the ladder rests against the building. This is the standard safety rule for proper ladder placement, known as the 4-to-1 rule. It ensures the ladder is at the correct angle to provide stability and minimize the risk of the ladder tipping over. Next question. Bees release a scent when in danger to other bees. Attract, divert. The correct answer is attract. Bees release a scent, often called an alarm pheromone, when they are in danger to attract other bees. This scent signals other bees to come to their aid, often to defend the hive from perceived threats. Next question. Dog bites are common than cat bites, but cat bites are more likely to become infected. Less, more. The correct answer is more. Dog bites are more common than cat bites, but cat bites are more likely to become infected. This is because cat bites tend to be deeper and more punctured, which can introduce bacteria into the skin, leading to a higher risk of infection. Next question. Methane gas, which may be present in confined spaces such as a basement, can cause death by asphyxiation, immolation, poisoning, suffocation. The correct answer is asphyxiation. Methane gas, which may be present in confined spaces such as a basement, can cause death by asphyxiation. Methane can displace oxygen in the air, leading to a lack of breathable air and causing asphyxiation. Although methane itself is not toxic, the lack of oxygen can be deadly. Next question. If the inspector decides to use a ladder to climb to the roof, the ladder should extend higher than the roof. 1 foot, 3 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet. The correct answer is 3 feet. If the inspector decides to use a ladder to climb to the roof, the ladder should extend 3 feet higher than the roof. This provides additional stability and allows the inspector to safely step off the ladder onto the roof. Next question. If a cut or bruise does not start healing and you notice swelling or redness or the wound feels warm to the touch, you should apply antibiotic cream to the area. Contact a doctor immediately. Put ice packs on it. The correct answer is contact a doctor immediately. If a cut or bruise does not start healing and you notice swelling, redness, or the wound feels warm to the touch, these could be signs of infection. In such cases, it is important to contact a doctor immediately to get proper treatment and avoid complications. Next question. The upper edge of a masonry chimney cleanout should be at least inches below the lowest inlet opening. 10, 4, 6, 8. The correct answer is 6. The upper edge of a masonry chimney cleanout should be at least 6 inches below the lowest inlet opening. This ensures proper venting and allows for adequate access to clean out debris and soot that may accumulate in the chimney. Next question. Glass block brick is considered double glazing, hazardous, masonry, safety glazing. The correct answer is masonry. Glass block is considered masonry because it is made from thick, durable blocks of glass that are typically set in mortar, similar to brick or stone masonry construction. It is not classified as safety glazing, although it can offer a degree of security and privacy when used in windows or walls. Next question. If particle board is used as wall sheathing, the grade mark with type or should be stamped on it. CNN4, CCX.TX. If particle board is used as wall sheathing, the grade mark with type CX or type TX should be stamped on it. These marks indicate that the particle board is suitable for use in specific structural applications, such as wall sheathing, and meet the necessary standards for strength and performance. Next question. If a particle board panel used for wall sheathing is 3/8 inch thick, and its grade is type M1, the maximum stud spacing should be inches on center when the siding is nailed to the studs. 16, 24, 4. The correct answer is 16. If a particle board panel used for wall sheathing is 3/8 inch thick and its grade is type M1, the maximum stud spacing should be 16 inches on center when the siding is nailed to the studs. This ensures proper support and stability for the particle board sheathing. Next question. All 15 and 20 amp 120 volt circuits for dining rooms, living rooms, bedrooms, sunrooms, closets, hallways, and similar areas in a home must be protected. ACFI, AFCI, GFCI. The correct answer is AFCI. All 15 and 20 amp 120 volt circuits for dining rooms, living rooms, bedrooms, sunrooms, closets, hallways, and similar areas in a home must be AFCI protected. AFCIs are designed to detect and prevent electrical arc faults, which are a common cause of electrical fires. Next question. In water heater tanks with FVAR systems, that prevents flames from traveling backward and igniting vapors outside of the combustion chamber. Flame arrestor plate, lint, dust and oil screen, thermal cutoff switch. The correct answer is flame arrestor plate. In water heater tanks with FVAR systems, the flame arrestor plate prevents flames from traveling backward and igniting vapors outside of the combustion chamber. This safety feature is designed to reduce the risk of fire hazards caused by flammable vapors near the water heater. Next question. A light fixture should be installed in an attic to the passageway and any mechanical appliance located there. Dull, illuminate. The correct answer is illuminate. A light fixture should be installed in an attic to illuminate the passageway and any mechanical appliance located there. Proper lighting is important for safety, allowing individuals to see clearly while navigating the attic or servicing equipment. Next question. In general, there should be no openings installed in a garage area. Door, ductwork, plumbing system, windows. The correct answer is door. In general, there should be no openings in the door installed in a garage area. This is especially true for fire-rated doors, which are required to prevent the spread of fire between the garage and living spaces. Openings in such doors can compromise safety and the fire resistance rating of the door. Next question. TF. When fastening exterior particle board sheathing panels, the nails should be spaced 6 inches on center at the edges and 12 inches on center at the intermediate supports. True or false? The correct answer is true. When fastening exterior particle board sheathing panels, the nails should be spaced 6 inches on center at the edges and 12 inches on center at the intermediate supports. This ensures the panels are securely attached to the framing, providing strength and stability. Next question. Re-roofing over an existing layer of composition shingles, while generally permitted by code, reduces the ability of the newer shingles to resist impact damage from hail, leaves, UV light, water. The correct answer is hail. Re-roofing over an existing layer of composition shingles, while generally permitted by code, reduces the ability of the newer shingles to resist impact damage from hail. The additional layer of shingles can make the roof more prone to damage from hail, as it may not provide the same level of protection or flexibility as a single layer of shingles. Next question. Of the 3 main ways that moisture moves through a house, movement accounts for more than 98% of all water vapor movement in building cavities. Air, gravitational, vertical, water. The correct answer is air. Air movement accounts for more than 98% of all water vapor movement in building cavities. Moisture often moves through a house via air movement, as warm, moist air can migrate through cracks, gaps, and ventilation systems, contributing to condensation and potential moisture-related issues. Next question. A sealant can be injected into cracks of masonry foundation walls to stop water intrusion. Acrylic. Epoxy. Good. Gray-colored. The correct answer is epoxy. An epoxy sealant can be injected into cracks of masonry foundation walls to stop water intrusion. Epoxy sealants are effective at creating a strong, waterproof barrier that helps prevent moisture from seeping through foundation cracks. Next question. If water gets into a building, we want to do nothing. Get it out. Keep it in. The correct answer is get it out. If water gets into a building, we want to get it out. It's important to remove any water to prevent damage to the structure, reduce the risk of mold growth, and protect the building materials from deterioration. Next question. Any successful basement finish design that exterior waterproofing, relative humidity control in the basement, and air sealing are properly addressed does not require, requires. The correct answer is requires. Any successful basement finish design requires that exterior waterproofing, relative humidity control in the basement, and air sealing are properly addressed. These factors are essential to ensure the basement remains dry, comfortable, and safe, and to prevent future moisture or mold problems. Next question. TF. Ventilation is intended to reduce the temperature of the roof deck during hot weather to improve shingle durability. True or false? The correct answer is true. Ventilation is intended to reduce the temperature of the roof deck during hot weather to improve shingle durability. Proper attic ventilation helps regulate temperature and moisture levels, preventing excessive heat buildup, which can extend the lifespan of roofing materials such as shingles. Next question. A can be made up of 1 layer of 15 asphalt felt or other approved water-resistive barrier, applied over the studs or sheathing of all exterior walls. IFS barrier wall, liquid applied sealant, RU, water-resistive barrier. The correct answer is water-resistive barrier. A water-resistive barrier can be made up of 1 layer of 15 asphalt felt or other approved material applied over the studs or sheathing of all exterior walls. This barrier helps prevent water infiltration, protecting the structure from moisture damage. Next question. One of the oldest and most trustworthy practices used to prevent wood and other moisture-sensitive materials from decaying is a constant uptake of moisture from the ground. contact with, direct connection with, inadequate clearance from, separation from. The correct answer is separation from. One of the oldest and most trustworthy practices used to prevent wood and other moisture-sensitive materials from decaying is separation from a constant uptake of moisture from the ground. This is typically achieved by ensuring proper clearance or using materials like vapor barriers to keep moisture away from the structure. Next question. For some climates, low permeability and continuous vapor retarders on the side of basement finishes should be avoided because they tend to trap moisture vapor moving through the foundation wall. Interior, lower, surface, upper. The correct answer is interior. For some climates, low permeability and continuous vapor retarders on the interior side of basement finishes should be avoided because they tend to trap moisture vapor moving through the foundation wall. This can lead to moisture buildup within the wall assembly, potentially causing mold growth and other moisture-related issues. Next question. Inadequate at deck stairs is a safety issue that inspectors should point out. Lighting, room for planters, staining or painting. The correct answer is lighting. Inadequate lighting at deck stairs is a safety issue that inspectors should point out. Proper lighting is essential to ensure visibility and prevent accidents, especially on stairs where people are more likely to trip or miss a step. Next question. A deck constructed on 4-inch by 4-inch posts that is 13 feet high may be resistant to wind gusts, unsafe, up to code if made of yellow pine. The correct answer is unsafe. 4x posts are not typically recommended for heights over 8 feet, as they lack the necessary strength and stability to support the structure safely at greater heights. A deck constructed on 4-inch by 4-inch posts that is 13 feet high may be unsafe. Next question. The National Electric Code requires on decks that are 20 square feet or larger, an interior use lamp if an extension cord is used, at least one electrical receptacle, tiki torches, candles, or a battery-powered lamp. The correct answer is at least one electrical receptacle. This is required by the National Electric Code for decks that are 20 square feet or larger. Next question. Each segment of deck planking should be supported by a minimum of joists. 5, 4, 3, 2. The correct answer is 4. Each segment of deck planking should be supported by a minimum of 3 joists according to standard deck building practices. This ensures that the planking is adequately supported and evenly distributed for safety and stability. However, the exact number of joists can vary depending on the size and spacing of the planks and the specific deck design. Next question. A common issue found in decks that could compromise child safety is 6-inch x 6-inch posts, graspable handrails, open stair risers, tight deck planking. The correct answer is open stair risers. Open stair risers are a common issue that could compromise child safety on decks. When the risers are open or have large gaps, children can slip through or get their feet or head stuck. To ensure safety, it is recommended to have closed risers or spacing that is too small for a child to fit through. Next question. The top end grain of vertical posts and balusters should be cut at an angle or level. The correct answer is at an angle. The top end grain of vertical posts and balusters should be cut at an angle to help prevent water from collecting on the surface. Cutting at an angle allows water to drain off, reducing the risk of rot or deterioration over time. This is particularly important for outdoor wood structures, where moisture accumulation can lead to premature damage. Next question. A hammer test is important to check if wood is solid, to see if bolts are tight, to see if girders are large enough. The correct answer is to check if wood is solid. A hammer test is typically used to check the condition of wood by tapping it with a hammer. If the wood sounds solid and firm, it is in good condition. If it sounds hollow or produces a dull thud, it may indicate that the wood is damaged, rotting, or weakened in some way. This test helps determine whether the wood needs replacement or further inspection before proceeding with construction or repairs. Next question. As a nominal depth, joists should be cantilevered no more than times the joist's width. 5, 10, 3. The correct answer is 3. As a rule of thumb, joists should not be cantilevered more than 3 times their width to maintain structural integrity and prevent excessive bending or failure. For example, if the joist is 2 inches wide, the cantilever should not exceed 6 inches. Next question. Answer the question. The most common cause of deck collapse is ledgers that pull away from the band joists, overloading, poor weather, weak deck flooring. The correct answer is ledgers that pull away from the band joists. The most common cause of deck collapse is ledgers that pull away from the band joists. This occurs when the ledger board, which connects the deck to the house, is not properly secured or anchored. Over time, improper installation or rotting can cause the ledger to detach, leading to a potential collapse. Properly securing the ledger board is critical to deck safety. Next question. There is typically between the brick veneer and the structural wall an air gap, cellulose insulation, structural I-beams, water-resistant drywall. The correct answer is an air gap. There is typically an air gap between the brick veneer and the structural wall. This gap allows for drainage and ventilation, helping to prevent moisture buildup behind the brick veneer, which could lead to water damage or mold growth. The air gap also helps to manage water that may penetrate the brick, directing it away from the structural wall. Next question. INTERNACHI's Home Inspection Standards of Practice that the inspector shall inspect all of the windows. Does not require or requires. The correct answer is, does not require. INTERNACHI's Home Inspection Standards of Practice does not require the inspector to inspect all of the windows. While home inspectors are expected to inspect windows as part of the overall inspection, they are not required to inspect every single window in a property. The standards typically focus on assessing the general condition of windows, their operation, and whether there are any significant defects or safety concerns. Next question. Masonry provides fire protection. Bad? Good? The correct answer is, good. Masonry provides good fire protection. Materials like brick, concrete, and stone are non-combustible and can help prevent the spread of fire, offering better fire resistance compared to wood or other materials. Masonry structures are often used in fire-rated walls and buildings because of their ability to withstand high temperatures and slow the progression of fire. Next question. Correct is essential in the proper application of wood siding. Caulking, nailing, painting, screwing. The correct answer is, nailing. Correct nailing is essential in the proper application of wood siding. Proper nailing ensures that the siding is securely attached to the structure, preventing it from becoming loose or damaged over time. It also helps maintain the integrity of the siding and prevents issues such as warping, buckling, or water infiltration. Next question. A chimney could lean where it projects above the roof due to deteriorated mortar joints caused by sulfate attack from a concrete chimney cap, a terracotta liner, flue gases, outdoor air, rainwater. The correct answer is, flue gases. Flue gases can cause a sulfate attack on mortar joints, leading to deterioration and causing the chimney to lean where it projects above the roof. Next question. Damp proofing the same degree of moisture protection as waterproofing. Does not provide, provides. The correct answer is, does not provide. Damp proofing does not provide the same degree of moisture protection as waterproofing. Damp proofing typically offers a basic level of moisture resistance, protecting against moisture from the ground, but it does not fully prevent water penetration under more extreme conditions, such as high water pressure. Waterproofing, on the other hand, provides a more robust and comprehensive barrier to prevent water from entering the structure. Next question. If a walkout is not covered, then a provision at the bottom of the walkout stairway is required. Clogging, debris, drainage, sealant, stepping. The correct answer is, drainage. If a walkout is not covered, then a drainage provision at the bottom of the walkout stairway is required. This helps prevent water from accumulating around the stairs, which could lead to erosion, standing water, or damage to the foundation. Proper drainage ensures that water flows away from the structure and reduces the risk of water-related issues. Next question. The color of an oil flame of a oil-fired heating system should appear blue, blue and yellow, orange and yellow. The correct answer is, blue. The color of an oil flame in an oil-fired heating system should appear blue. A blue flame indicates that the system is burning efficiently, with a proper air-to-fuel ratio. If the flame appears yellow or orange, it could indicate incomplete combustion, which might suggest problems like a dirty burner or insufficient airflow, requiring attention. Next question. The flue pipe of a fuel-burning heating system should be diameter size as the outlet of the furnace, and it should never be reduced. Always a larger. At least the same, never a smaller. The correct answer is, at least the same. The flue pipe of a fuel-burning heating system should be at least the same diameter size as the outlet of the furnace, and it should never be reduced. This ensures proper ventilation and safe exhaust of gases, allowing for efficient operation and preventing the buildup of harmful gases like carbon monoxide. Reducing the size of the flue pipe could restrict airflow, leading to dangerous backdrafts or inefficient combustion. Next question. That provides a proper draft in the oil furnace by automatically reducing the chimney draft to the optimal amount. Barometric damper, burner, draft inducer, oil filter. The correct answer is barometric damper. The barometric damper provides a proper draft in the oil furnace by automatically reducing the chimney draft to the optimal amount. This helps maintain consistent combustion and ensures that the furnace operates efficiently while preventing excessive draft, which could lead to wasted fuel or unsafe conditions. Next question. A draft is when the furnace has a fan that sucks air into the combustion chamber, through the heat exchanger, and blows out through the venting system. Induced, natural, open, outside air. The correct answer is induced. An induced draft is when the furnace has a fan that sucks air into the combustion chamber, through the heat exchanger, and blows it out through the venting system. This type of draft is created by a mechanical fan, which helps improve combustion efficiency and ensures proper venting of gases. Next question. The cell is a safety device which looks for the flame inside the burner chamber and confirms that a flame exists when the burner starts. Burner, CAD, chamber, gun. The correct answer is CAD. The CAD cell is a safety device that looks for the flame inside the burner chamber and confirms that a flame exists when the burner starts. If the flame is not detected, the CAD cell will signal the system to shut down, preventing unburned fuel from accumulating and avoiding potential hazards. Next question. Is the transfer of heat from one molecule to another, or through one substance to another, conduction, convection, radiation? The correct answer is Conduction. Conduction is the transfer of heat from one molecule to another, or through one substance to another, typically through direct contact. In this process, heat moves from the hotter part of an object or substance to the cooler part, such as when a metal spoon gets hot from the boiling water it's in. Next question. Flue pipes from two fuel-burning appliances should not enter a chimney from opposite sides at the bottom, the same height, the top. The correct answer is the same height. Flue pipes from two fuel-burning appliances should not enter a chimney from opposite sides at the same height. This could cause backdraft or improper venting. To ensure proper venting and avoid dangerous conditions, the flue pipes should enter the chimney at different heights or angles, depending on the system's design. Next question. Is a type of heating system hydronic, hydroponic, hydrostatic? The correct answer is hydronic. Hydronic is a type of heating system that uses water or another liquid to transfer heat. In a hydronic heating system, water is heated by a boiler and circulated through pipes or radiators to heat a building. It is commonly used in radiant floor heating and baseboard heating systems. Hydroponic refers to a method of growing plants without soil. Hydrostatic refers to the pressure exerted by a fluid at rest, not a heating system. Next question. Powered roof fans can cause problems, such as sucking through leakage pathways in the ceiling, condensate from the sump pump, conditioned air from the house's interior, EMF waves from outside, radiation from the heating system. The correct answer is conditioned air from the house's interior. Powered roof fans can cause problems by sucking conditioned air from the house's interior through leakage pathways in the ceiling. This can lead to energy loss, making the heating or cooling system work harder and less efficiently. It can also cause drafts and affect indoor air quality. Next question. There should be a minimum space provided between the insulation and the roof deck sheathing. 1 inch, 1/8 inch, 2 inches, 4 to 1/2 inches. The correct answer is 1 inch. There should be a minimum space of 1 inch provided between the insulation and the roof deck sheathing. This gap is necessary for proper ventilation to prevent moisture buildup, which could lead to mold growth or damage to the roof structure. The space allows air to circulate, helping to regulate temperature and prevent condensation within the attic or roof space. Next question. According to the INTERNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice, inspectors are to remove and check above a representative number of drop ceiling tiles. Not required or required? The correct answer is not required. According to the INTERNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice, inspectors are not required to remove and check above a representative number of drop ceiling tiles. Inspectors may note the condition of visible components, but they are not obligated to move tiles or disrupt any areas that might be concealed or difficult to inspect. Next question. Water shutoff valves should be so that the water supply can be easily turned off in the event of a plumbing leak. Electronically operated, identified and readily accessible, near a light switch, painted red and accessible. The correct answer is identified and readily accessible. Water shutoff valves should be identified and readily accessible so that the water supply can be easily turned off in the event of a plumbing leak. This is crucial for preventing water damage and allowing quick action in an emergency. It's important that the shutoff valve is easy to locate and operate when needed. Next question. Air carries more water vapor than cold air. Cold, dry, warm. The correct answer is warm. Warm air carries more water vapor than cold air. Warm air has a higher capacity to hold moisture, which is why humid air is typically associated with higher temperatures. As air cools, its ability to hold moisture decreases, which is why condensation occurs when warm, moist air cools. Next question. The required egress door is a hinge door. Bottom, non, side, top. The correct answer is side. The required egress door is typically a side hinge door. Egress doors must be easily operable from the inside without the need for special knowledge or tools, and side hinge doors, such as traditional swinging doors, meet this requirement. This ensures that occupants can quickly and safely exit the building in the event of an emergency. Next question. The concrete slab of a basement will tend to materials that are in contact with it. Cool, dirty, fresh and warm. The correct answer is cool. The concrete slab of a basement will tend to cool materials that are in contact with it. Concrete is a good conductor of heat, so it will draw heat away from objects in contact with it, making them feel cooler, especially in areas like basements where temperatures can be lower. Next question. Window wells at emergency escape and rescue openings should have a horizontal area of at least square feet. 12, 3, 6, 9. The correct answer is 9. Window wells at emergency escape and rescue openings should have a horizontal area of at least 9 square feet. This ensures that there is enough space for someone to escape or be rescued in case of an emergency. The minimum dimensions for a window well are typically 36 inches in width and 36 inches in length. Next question. TF. Accusations of a member acting or deemed in violation of any code of ethics rules shall trigger a review by the Ethics Committee for possible sanctions and/or expulsion from INTERNACHI. True. False. The correct answer is true. Accusations of a member acting or deemed in violation of any code of ethics rules typically trigger a review by the Ethics Committee for possible sanctions and/or expulsion from INTERNACHI. INTERNACHI has a code of ethics that members must adhere to, and violations can lead to disciplinary action, including expulsion. Next question. TF. The InterNACHI member shall not communicate any information about an inspection to anyone except the client without the prior written consent of the client, except where it may affect the safety of others or violates a law or statute. True or false? The correct answer is true. The InterNACHI member shall not communicate any information about an inspection to anyone except the client without the prior written consent of the client, except where it may affect the safety of others or violates a law or statute. This is in line with InterNACHI's Code of Ethics, which emphasizes the confidentiality of inspection reports and client information, while also allowing for necessary disclosures when safety or legal requirements are involved. Next question. According to the InterNACHI Standards of Practice, the member shall not perform or offer to perform, for an additional fee, any repairs or associated services to the structure for which the member or member's company has prepared a home inspection report for a period of months. 12, 48, a few, many. The correct answer is 12. According to the InterNACHI Standards of Practice, the member shall not perform or offer to perform, for an additional fee, any repairs or associated services to the structure for which the member or member's company has prepared a home inspection report for a period of 12 months. This helps avoid conflicts of interest and ensures the integrity and objectivity of the home inspection. Next question. The InterNACHI member must follow the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice. Completely, slightly, substantially, sufficiently. The correct answer is completely. The InterNACHI member must completely follow the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice. These standards provide a comprehensive framework for conducting home inspections, ensuring that members adhere to consistent, high-quality practices in their work. Next question. The InterNACHI member shall have conflict of interest with the client. No more than 1 undisclosed, no more than 3 disclosed, no undisclosed, some disclosed. The correct answer is no undisclosed. The InterNACHI member shall have no undisclosed conflicts of interest with the client. This ensures transparency and maintains the integrity of the inspection process, preventing any potential bias or unethical behavior that could arise from undisclosed personal or financial interests. Next question. A member shall the InterNACHI Code of Ethics abide by, avoid, evade at all costs, ignore, not conform to. The correct answer is abide by. A member shall abide by the InterNACHI Code of Ethics. This ensures that members conduct their home inspections with professionalism, integrity, and adherence to ethical standards, promoting trust and safety for clients and the public. Next question. The InterNACHI member disclosed or undisclosed benefits from real estate agents or brokers is permitted to accept or shall not accept. The correct answer is shall not accept. The InterNACHI member shall not accept disclosed or undisclosed benefits from real estate agents or brokers. This rule is in place to avoid conflicts of interest and ensure that home inspections are conducted with integrity, without any influence from external parties. Next question. An InterNACHI member to bring discredit to the home inspection industry is not permitted or is permitted. The correct answer is not permitted. An InterNACHI member is not permitted to bring discredit to the home inspection industry. Members are expected to uphold high ethical standards and conduct their business in a manner that reflects positively on the profession. Next question. Fireplaces vent unburned combustion byproducts directly into the living space. Commercial, hybrid, residential, ventless. The correct answer is ventless. Ventless fireplaces vent unburned combustion byproducts directly into the living space. These types of fireplaces do not have a chimney or vent to the outside, so the byproducts, including carbon monoxide and moisture, are released into the room. While they are efficient in terms of heat output, they can pose safety and air quality risks if not used properly.